Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Universally Epic Podcast, your go-to Universal Orlando trip planning podcast. I'm Jim Klein, along with Taylor Franklin. We are your hosts and travel agents for all things Universal. On today's show, Halloween Horror Nights officially opens this week, and we also take a quick dive into one of the more unique houses at Halloween Horror Nights. WWE Presents The Horrors of the Wyatt Sicks. So, when we first started talking about um, speculation maps and everything, Taylor had mentioned that if the Wyatt Six did come to Halloween Horror Nights, she wanted to do a episode on it. So this is that episode. So Taylor, how are you? And let's get started.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. They are probably my second favorite gimmick. Aside from the Undertaker, I love the Undertaker. Um, but the Wyatt Six and Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family just in general have been really big for me because when I started getting into wrestling, that was like at their debut. Um, so I was there for all of the Bray Wyatt stuff when that started. um, or when he became Bray Wyatt, rather. Um, I was like, who is this weird dude from the Florida Bayou? And then I had to know more. So this is really exciting for me personally. I'm probably gonna cry in this house because I know they're gonna do something for him, and it's gonna I'm gonna cry. Um, so, um, a little bit of backstory. Bray Wyatt, when he initially became Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family was a thing. They kind of had a rotating cast of people that were in and out of the Wyatt family and people that were aligned with the Wyatt family. But originally, Bray Wyatt was a cult leader. And he was leading this cult, the family, in the Florida Bayou. Um, it was like a big thing. They were swamp people. And he was just so charismatic and people loved him. He got really, really popular really, really fast. And then he suddenly stopped being popular because the, what do you call it? The bookers?
Mhm.
WWE
Great.
Creative
Yep.
didn't know what to do with him. Because he got really popular really fast and they were worried about that plot line getting stagnant. Um, but Bray Wyatt is a mastermind and he is so smart and so creative. Um, and he was like, okay, that's fine, I guess. And he had a lot of people, most notably Triple H, who was like really in his corner and really, really trying, but Vince McMahon um, didn't care. For lack of a better term, didn't care. Um, so he kind of like rose really high and then like smacked down to the ground because people really liked him, but the WWE didn't really like
Gotcha.
him.
Okay.
And for a while, he kind of fell out of favor with the WWE, so he stopped getting booked and he stopped getting fights that would be notable and like matches that would be notable. So he kind of went away for a little bit. Um, he got to a point where there was a match against someone I cannot remember the name of right now, but he got thrown into the Lake of Resurrection um, during the during a death match basically. He got thrown into the Lake of Resurrection. He was gone.
Okay.
Nobody saw him for months. Gone. When he came back, and this is going to be where the house kind of comes from a little bit. We're not all the way there yet, but a little bit. When he came back, he was like completely different, rocking a red cardigan, looked like Mr. Rogers. Um, and he was, and then suddenly all of his promos ended up being this like weird kids show.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to introduce a couple of names. I'm going to throw out some names, and we're going to get to them in a second. But I'm gonna say their names, and then we're going to go there. Um, there was Uncle Howdy, the Rambling Rabbit, Mercy the Buzzard, Huskus the Pig Boy, and Abby the Witch. Um, they were all puppets in this kid show. Um, Things got really, really weird, though, with this kid show, because not only did we have these puppet characters, we also had a murderous clown guy named Fiend. And he also lived in the funhouse. Now, through multiple promos and multiple different months of this storyline coming together, we finally kind of figure out what this funhouse is. Basically, this funhouse is one, it's a jab at the WWE, but it's also supposed to represent basically what they did to Bray Wyatt. They broke his mind. They broke his psyche. And there are 3 different readings on what the funhouse could actually be. Now, there's the one that's kind of like pretty surface level, and everyone's like, it's hell because he died. He's in hell now. Or it's limbo, which there is a sign on the door that's like in all of the promos, there's a door. And on this door, it says, "Abandon all hope, ye who exit here." Now, in Dante's Inferno, it's "ye who enter here." So if you're exiting, where are you going? And that's on the gates to hell. So I believe that we are in limbo. Anyway, the third reading is, where did it go? Oh, the third reading is that it's a form of regression in response to a traumatic event, where he has broken his mind so far that the only thing he can do now is try to fill the void from the traumatic event with these characters. Now, the Fiend, which is something that we're going to focus on for a little bit, for just a second. The Fiend is supposed to be the physical manifestation of Bray Wyatt's violent side.
Okay. All right.
It is what allows him to do. Yeah, it is what allows him to do and be violent. So, when he was wrestling at that time, he never, after the Fiend was introduced, he did not wrestle under Bray Wyatt. He wrestled under the Fiend. The Fiend had a mask, and he was super violent, super scary. He was in like Hell in a Cell, Extreme Rules, all of the like really crazy
Like
wrestling matches. Yeah. So the Fiend debuted on the WWE stage at SummerSlam 2019, and he was carrying the decapitated head of Bray Wyatt. And that was a really big thing.
The Universally Epic Podcast is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel, a Universal You Preferred travel agency. If you're looking to plan your next Universal Orlando vacation, let's do it together. As certified Universal specialists, we can help guide you through the planning process with helpful tips and tricks along the way. The best part, all our travel planning services are free to you.
When you book your Universal Orlando vacation with us, you qualify for an exclusive booking bonus offer from the Magic for Less Travel, a $25 Universal gift card for all vacation packages over $2,500. Ready to start planning? Email the podcast at universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com and start planning your next epic Universal vacation today. So for a while he was like, everybody loved him. Everybody was like, oh my god, not only is Bray Wyatt back, he's crazy now. And everybody really loved the Fiend. But again, the WWE did not. They really liked him for a while. He got voted best gimmick, and then nothing. They didn't have anything for him. He was supposed to face off, or he was doing this thing where he was like going through all of the wrestling legends. And then he was supposed to, he fought, or he wrestled Seth Rollins, and the referee stepped in and they were like, oh no, you're hurting him. Wah. Which wasn't the thing, because his whole gimmick was that he can't die because he's immortal. They were like, oh no, you're hurting him. So the referee stepped in and ruined that match. And then he was supposed to fight a few people, and then COVID happened. So he went on to he was supposed to fight John Cena, but COVID happened, and it kind of, the WWE didn't really know what to do with that because they weren't going to have fans in the stadium. They weren't going to have anything. They didn't really know what to do. So they started doing these cinematic matches. So it was like little movies, kind of like the promos, but like it was like little movies that they were doing. And they faced off against John Cena there, where they just kind of like critiqued. That's a nice word. They critiqued John Cena's career. um, and the fan base was like really, 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 really split on this, like really split. Um, and there were people that were like, these cinematic matches are hilarious. We love them. And then there were people that were like, it's not
Yeah.
wrestling. You're not wrestling. What are you doing? Um, so it kind of went back and forth until wrestling was allowed to be wrestling again. And when wrestling was allowed to be wrestling again, we saw the return of Bray Wyatt. Um, he once again had this like, the family was around. And he he like joined forces with a bunch of people, most notably Alexa Bliss. Um, well, he went back to wrestling under the Fiend and lost the Universal title that year. Because Alexa Bliss betrayed him.
No.
And it was really bad, and fans did not like it. It was like a whole thing. And the WWE was like, oh, hey, you're fired now, actually.
So they turned on him like that. Like that's it. Like that's it. You're done. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. So they fired him in the talent layoffs of 2021.
Uh,
Um, and it became a whole thing. The match that ended his career basically was a Firefly Inferno match that saw the Fiend getting lit on fire.
oh. Okay.
And he didn't die because he came back for the next match and he was melted. And he was like in this like really gross looking costume. It was not good. And the WWE thought so also. Guess what? They thought so also. They hated it. So he he got fired. At that point he got fired. And rumors started to circulate and they were like, okay, so did he get fired because of creative differences, or then there was the weird rumor that he had gotten sick and there was something wrong with his heart.
Yeah.
Um, it nobody knew where he was. Nobody saw him for like a really long time. Then all of a sudden, he randomly changed his name on Twitter to Wyatt Sicks, the number six, not what we know right now, but to Wyatt Sicks. The Twitter handle was Wyndham Six because his real name is Wyndham. But it was Wyatt Sicks. And everyone was like, hello? Why are you here? What is happening? And people got really, really excited. Vince McMahon stepped away. He stepped back from creative and Triple H took over. Triple H then started doing things like putting QR codes on the TVs, like in the arenas and stuff, and they would all link to like the games and things like that that were like hinting at Bray Wyatt's return. Um, and it was like super strange. It was weird, and people were like, "Hello, that's weird." So then in 2022, the at the end of Extreme Rules, the whole arena went black. The whole thing. Every light in the arena was off. There was this like really spooky rendition of He's Got the Whole World in His Hands
God.
that started playing through the arena. And then we started to see what we now know is the Wyatt Six. As they started to just kind of like pop up in the arena, and they were like life-size versions of the puppets from the Funhouse. And everyone was like, Hello?
It really looked like the puppet from the Funhouse, though.
Yeah. Um, but then on stage, there was a wooden door that came out, and there was a really bright light that shone from behind it. And the door opens, and out walks a masked Bray Wyatt, carrying a lantern. He says, "I'm here," blows out the lantern, and that was the end. That was the end of the event. And everyone
Crazy.
was like,
Like, what?
"Is he
Yeah.
back?" And it was like a whole thing. People started to freak out. They were like, "This is a brand new like rendition of what we know Bray Wyatt to be. Another one? That's crazy. There's now like five. That's cool." People started to lose their minds. Um, he showed up at the next event, and he showed up looking like himself. And he started speaking from the heart, and he was talking about how I'm going to be genuine for the very first time. This is a me you guys have never seen, yada, yada, yada. And then the following week, he started confessing that he was going to be violent, and he was a servant to the circle. Everyone was like, "What does that mean? What is the circle?" So, the circle refers to the cycle of violence. Yeah. So the circle refers to the cycle of violence, which he had been using on his Twitter for quite some time. He kept posting pictures of this like red circle, and everyone was very confused. Um, but it was basically him confessing to going down this dark path once again. Um, we found out through promos that started to pop up that he was being led down this path by someone named Uncle Howdy. Now, unfortunately, this storyline wouldn't fully come to its conclusion because unfortunately, in August of 2023, he passed away to a heart attack. Um, very sad. Rest in peace, sir. Um, but he passed away to a heart attack at 36 years old. And everyone was then like, "Oh, well, now what?" Because he had crafted this brilliant story about something called the Wyatt Six, and nobody knew what was going on. The WWE mourned, the fans mourned, everybody was really, really sad. Um, and for his tribute, they once again turned all of the lights off in the stadium, and all of the fans got to be fireflies again. Because when you do that, when you turn your flashlight on your phone in the very dark arena, they started calling themselves fireflies, which is where Firefly Funhouse comes from. Um, so, um, there was a promo that happened, and we find out that his brother, Taylor Rotunda, um, who at the time was also going by, I just had it, Bo Dallas, had taken up the mantle. He had been Uncle Howdy for a while in the promos. He acted right alongside Bray Wyatt, and he was ready to kind of step into the role that his brother had left behind. Um, and that is where we kind of get to go into where the house is now. Um,
Okay.
so
Yeah. So,
I will let you explain.
so what I've read from this Hollywood Insider article, and they're saying that the opening scene in the house is kind of like you're gonna be in the point of view of a cameraman, and it recreates like the entrance to when they were backstage at a WWE event. You'll probably know exactly which one I'm talking about. And there was just like carnage everywhere, like wrestlers with like
Yes.
bloody heads laying all over the place. So basically, that's how the house is going to open. It seems. Um,
Mhm.
and then what they're going to do
So
after?
that comes from their debut. This is exactly how the Wyatt Six debuted themselves in their entirety.
Okay, so that
Mhm.
connects there. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go through an abandoned Firefly Funhouse with remnants of the
Yes.
Fiend's influence, and they're
Yes.
gonna have imagery of WWE all over the place. Supposedly, they recorded new material with Uncle Howdy just for the house. Okay,
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
and you're gonna go through other environments such as Abby's witch hunt, where she can crawl all around you. Um, there's another one that
Oh,
features
I
the
hate
Husky
floor scare
Pig
actors. They're
Boy,
so scary.
the Pig Boy,
Hmm.
Mercy, the Buzzard Realms, Rambling Rabbit's Spiraling Tea Party Inspired Dimension, where everyone's mouths are sewn shut. Um, and then there's going to be some new characters. Now, here's another one for WWE fans: is that there's going to be a ton of Easter eggs within the house. They're saying so. Keep an eye out if you are a WWE fan.
Oh.
Um, there's going to be a bunch of Easter eggs that you're going to need to look for through this house. So it seems like a really cool. It doesn't seem all. Obviously, it's going to be scary, but it's going to be like if you're a WWE fan, you're going to love it. It seems right. Like that's where they're
Yeah.
going. They're producing new material for it. Now, I did read somewhere also that actually I think it might be in this article I read. This whole thing came back. This all came to being the day they debuted, basically, and they called um, what is this? So Universal reached out to WWE right away to get this ball rolling for
Hmm.
a haunted house. So this has been years in the making, obviously. So
Hmm.
it's kind of cool that like it's all here now, you know?
Well, so fun fact: Bray Wyatt said it years ago.
Yep.
At some point, he was talking about how badly he wanted to be in an HHN house.
Yeah, that was back in 2019. He had tweeted that
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's insane. And then
And I think it's
finally,
a fantastic storyline to do it for.
yeah, it's very cool. And I think
Hmm.
that there's going to be some type of like homage to him in the house, which is going to be very very cool. And I
I'm gonna
think
cry.
you know, obviously, so they say that like the lantern that they're holding is basically Wyatt's like soul,
Hmm.
right? Like that's what they say. So there's five of them. So everybody says Wyatt Six, but it's they're saying that the lantern is that sixth person. That's what the
Yep.
lore is around it. So
Hmm.
you can see a lantern. I'm gonna guess probably towards the end, and you have WWE fans
Probably a
coming out.
lantern and a rocking chair.
Yeah, yeah, the rocking chair too. Yeah, they're gonna
Mhm.
be coming out of there crying. I think WWE fans are gonna be coming out
I'm
because I think they're gonna
gonna
do a great
be
job
sobbing.
with like you're gonna be scared and then you're gonna be sad as you're like walking out and just remembering all that. It's I think
Mhm.
they're gonna do a great job with it. Um, yeah, and it's a great like crossover. I think it's a great
It's such a fun concept.
yeah, it's very cool. I love it. I think it's a cool idea. Um, Not that I'm getting back into like I said, I watch a lot of clips on wrestling. It pops up on my algorithm so much.
Hmm.
Um, and it's fun. It's fun. It's I was a
It's fun.
huge wrestling fan back in the late 90s and then stopped like from 2001 on. Like I haven't watched wrestling and now it's like John Cena's on his farewell tour and I like kind of pop in and I see that. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool." It's like
I
it's just fun.
I felt so old. One of my kids at work was like, "Did you know John Cena's like going away?" And I was like, "Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they
What?"
tried to turn him heel, and that didn't work so well. That was
Oh my god, it went so bad.
so bad. Nobody,
It went
nobody
so bad.
believed him at all.
Nobody.
Nobody. They were still
It is
cheering for
probably one
him.
of the most
Like,
unbelievable things that
yeah, it
WWE
was
has
so
done.
funny. It was very funny. I watched all those clips too. Like, I don't even tune in to any show. I just watch all the clips, but it's very funny to
Yeah,
watch because they really were trying so hard to make him a heel, and it was just like, nah.
it just
And
didn't work.
everybody was just like, no, we still love you. Like, it
Yeah.
was very. That's off topic, but yeah. So listen, I think it's a great. It's gonna be a great house. Like I love the integration of WWE in Halloween Horror Nights. It's very cool.
Me too.
I don't think it's gonna be as scary as, like, let's say, the Terrifier house. You know what I mean? So
No.
it's gonna be like an easier one for people to get through, and WWE fans are gonna have a blast. So
I'm so
nice.
excited. I'm gonna run that house as many times as I possibly can.
I'm sure. When are you going down? Are you going down soon or what?
We are going in the beginning of October.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool. So, oh, I can't
Yep.
wait for that. I want to hear all about it. So, all right. So let's wrap
I will
this one
go.
up. Yes, 100%. Definitely a full trip to like a what are those things called? Trip. What the hell? Like, oh
Trip
my god.
reports?
Yeah, trip reports. Why couldn't I think of reports? Oh my god, I'm so
I
sorry.
just said it.
It cut off in my ear, so I didn't hear what you were saying. So
No fair.
yeah. Okay, let's go to sleep. Um,
Yeah.
all right. So, like always, follow us on TikTok and YouTube. Um, if you have any trip planning questions or would like to plan your next trip, email us at.
Universally Epic Podcast at gmail.com.
This episode has been brought to you by the Magic Brothers Travel, and like always, have an epic week, everybody.